What's up? Thank you for joining me. My name is Justice, and I'm the host of MS Will Lose News and Views podcast. And on this episode, I'm going to be talking about traveling with multiple sclerosis. Traveling is something that I know before being diagnosed with MS was something that me and my wife did quite often. Whether that was jumping in a car and going on a ride, or whether that was jumping on an airplane and taking a flight, that's what we did. And I mean, that's what we did. We didn't just go do the sightseeing, the local tourist thing when we went to a city. We got actually engulfed in the city. You know, we went into neighborhoods that after coming home, some people told me, man, you shouldn't have went there. But that's how we traveled. That's what we did. You know, we enjoyed traveling. But once being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, those things came to a complete stop. I mean, they came to a complete stop. One, I had to realize and try and find out what was going on with me. Two, the financial toll that multiple sclerosis in the beginning took was in place of the traveling. So it was just no room for it. So years went by before I would get behind a wheel of a car again. Years went by before I would get in an airplane seat again. And I'll tell you one thing that helped me, a big deal, was that the Shepherd Center, they offer these lectures. And they had a lecture one day coming up on traveling with disabilities. And I said, you know what, let me go take the lecture. Let me see what I can learn, you know, because it has to be something out there that's, you know, accommodating to people with, you know, disabilities, because I know that people with disabilities travel. So I said, let me go and find out firsthand. So I went, and when I showed up, I was the only one at the lecture. Okay, so now I'm like, okay, is this good or is this bad? And what it turned out to be was great, because it was just me and the lady that was giving the lecture, and she went on to tell me all the things that, you know, I could do for as traveling, the rights that I had, you know, as traveling in a wheelchair, you know, the things that I could expect, you know. And one thing I will tell you that I think, you know, shocked me was just that, you know, finding out about, you know, being able to get on, you know, the airplane and not be able to walk. Now, you know, when you think about it, that there are people that can't walk that travel every day. I understand that, but I was never thinking that way, because like I say, I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with me. I'm focused in on me. Okay, so she went ahead to explain to me that Mr. Barron, what they do is, you know, they have an aisle chair. It's a little small chair, you know, that you'll have two people that'll take you out of your wheelchair, and they'll put you in this chair, and then they'll, you know, shimmy you down the aisle. She said, so what you can expect is that you'll be the first one to board the plane, and you'll be the last one to exit the plane. So after hearing that, you know, that made me a little bit more comfortable, but I was still real hesitant, because like I say, how will it look? Will people look at me? You know, what will people think? You know, all these things go through your mind at times. So I also was told that what I needed to do, I would always need to call the airport in advance and give them all of my information. She told me how to request what they call a bulkhead seating, which is the seats right behind the first class, which gives you a little bit more leg room. I mean, she went into some true details about how it was to travel with a disability. And after hearing this, I went home and told my wife, I was like, listen, I just found out all this information that I'm able to do, that I'm entitled to be able to do, you know, from this lecture. So I think I might be getting ready to get back out there and do a little traveling. And my wife has always been one to kind of hold me to it. And she said, well, you know what? I'm getting ready to go out of town for work, because she had a job that she had to go out of town sometime. And she said, I got to go to San Antonio, Texas. So why don't you come on and go with me? I said, sure, I'll go with you. I ain't never been to Texas. I'll go ahead and go with you. So immediately she proceeds to go ahead and she books the flight. Now she books the flight. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. Now, as the days got closer and closer, I think I got a little bit more nervous every day. A little bit more day, a little bit more day, I got a little bit more nervous because it was once again fixing to be something new that I was doing with multiple sclerosis or with a disability. So as the time came, we loaded up, we proceeded, we made our way to the airport, and I'll tell you, from when I got out the car and got dropped off curbside, everybody showed me love. I've traveled more times than I can count since I started traveling again with being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And I'll tell you right now that I've had no encounters of negativity, anything that I can sit here and I tell you the truth, anything that I can complain about. Now, has it been times I had to wait? Yes, but who don't? But what I'm telling you is that I've traveled since I started back traveling in a wheelchair, through the airport, to the plane, off the plane, out of the airport, and I've had no problems at all. I've had no problems at all. So if you are an individual that has multiple sclerosis, if you're a caregiver and you have someone that you take care of that uses a wheelchair, a walker, you have rights. Now, what I will tell you, check with the airport, get more information from them, go online to a trusted source, come to me, ask me more questions. I'm telling you firsthand, I can give you my experience. Now, I have not traveled international, so I'm not sure how that works. I've been only traveling domestic. But from what I can hear, international is not too much different other than when you land in another country, and then things tend to get a little different because the rules and regulations towards handicapped or disabled people are not the same. But what I want you to know is that you can travel still with multiple sclerosis. And when traveling with multiple sclerosis, you got to know, you got to take into consideration that the fatigue, the spasms. So you got to truly plan it out, but you can do it. And the better you are with the planning and expecting, something to come up and being prepared for it if it do, not looking for nothing to come up, but just expecting to say, hey, if something come up, I'm prepared. I got my extra bag. And that's one thing when I say extra bag, I think it's very, very key that if you travel with multiple sclerosis, and this could be just going to the store, and depending on what kind of symptoms, issues you have with, I know me, myself, I deal with bladder issues. So I always carry me an extra set of clothes. I even do another pair of shoes. So I'm telling you that I have a bag that it either comes with me everywhere I go, or it either stays in the car to where if I have any accident, I'm able to fix it as soon as possible. I've bought so many wipes lately. I know the people at the store in my neighborhood think that we gotta have a baby. I keep baby wipes with me. You just never know when you have to clean up. Now I'm telling you these things from experience. I know that there's some people that's listening to this right now that know exactly what I'm talking about. So what I'm telling you is that this is the little life hack with multiple sclerosis, is that to pack your bag. Put everything in there you need to, if you need to change clothes for an emergency situation. I'm telling you, being prepared is what makes it successful. When you're traveling and you know that you're going to be dealing with sitting down for a while and you're not able to get up, make sure you may take an extra, baclofen or something. Now, I'm not recommending you take no more medicine than the doctor has told you. But I also want you to talk to your doctor. Let them know you'll be traveling. See if they have any advice for you. But what I do want you to know is that you can too travel with multiple sclerosis. You and your caregiver, y'all will sit right by each other on the plane. If you drive and you're not able to say, like with me, I have a problem with foot drop, so my legs are not able to react quickly enough to get over to the gas and the brake pedal. So I have the portable hand controls on there. Now when I say portable, meaning that they can be taken off and somebody that has no disabilities can drive. A young man by the name of Chris told me about those. And he was telling me, he was like, hey man, you need to get off your butt and quit joking around and go out and get these hand controls and start back driving. And I did. And I'm going to tell you, I hadn't drove for about maybe 4 years. Somebody took me everywhere that I wanted to go. So about 4 years after not driving, having a truck sit out in the driveway and I just watch it, I decided to get these portable hand controls. And I put them on, and within 20 minutes of putting them on, I was back out driving. Now they do take some getting used to, so I'm not going to recommend everybody do like I did and just go straight out in the traffic, you know, but that's how I am. I needed to learn that way. I didn't need to learn by going off to the church parking lot and driving like I'm 16 years old. I needed to get out in the streets. Now, was it almost a couple of accidents? Yes. Do I regret how I did it? No. Am I recommending that you do it that way? No, I'm not. But what I am telling you is that do not let MS be the reason why you don't go anywhere. When it comes to booking hotel rooms, call ahead. Ask for a room that's accessible. Whether you need a roll-in shower, whether you need a tub, all these things are out there, guys. But you have to do your part. You have to check. You have to make reservations early. You have to call back and reconfirm reservations. You have to make sure. Nobody's going to do it for you, but what I want you to know is that you too can travel. You can travel on a plane. You can travel in a car. Now, for as a bus, I haven't did that. Can't do that. Couldn't do that when I was healthy, just too long. Couldn't do it. But when I'm telling you, you can get these portable hand controls, go get you a rental car from one of your local rental car places, put these portable hand controls on and drive. Now what I've heard, but I haven't seen it myself, is that you can actually call to the rental car place and put in a request for an accessible vehicle, one that has the hand controls already on it. Someone told me that. Now I haven't experienced that, so don't hold me to that if you're not able to find that, but I was told that you can do that as well. But I just want you to know and understand that you can still travel. Do not let multiple sclerosis stop you in your tracks. Still get out, have fun. If you're going to be in the car, just think like this. Every 2 to 3 hours, depending on how far you're driving, you're going to stop, stretch your legs. When you stop to get gas, you stretch your legs. You know, even if you're not able to stand up, when you stop, you stick those legs out the side of the car when you stop getting gas and you rub them. You give yourself a nice massage on your legs. You keep your legs loose. Soon as you arrive to your destination, go ahead and get you a good stretch in. Okay? It's all about not overdoing it. But I want you to know that you too can travel with multiple sclerosis. So what I want you to do is I want you to set some goals. Okay? Set some goals that you're going to be doing some traveling before the end of the year. Set these goals. Set some realistic ones that you're going to go maybe an hour away from where you live just to get more traveling in. That you're going to take a flight 2 hours away just to start getting traveling in. Make a pact. You're going to go meet another MSer in another state and y'all going to hang out for the weekend. Whatever it takes for you to get motivated and to get back out and travel. But 2 things that I recommend. I recommend if you're going to travel through the airport, that you do all of your homework and you find out all the resources that's available to you. If you're going to travel on the road, find out what rental cars offer accessible vehicles. I recommend that whether you're going anywhere and if you're dealing with any kind of bladder or bowel issues, that you carry you an extra bag. And know these things will help you feel more comfortable getting out of the house because you know you'll be prepared if MS raises its ugly head at any moment, because we all know that it's unpredictable.